Can I just acknowledge here that the guy who plays the adult version of the character Mike is played by Isaiah Mustafa, the man who played the Old Spice commercials, you know, I'm on a horse. That guy. Then he did the thing with Terry Crews and there was like this little competition. Remember? Such good memories. Isaiah Mustafa is the guy from the Old Spice commercials. Yes, look it up. And I'm sure he smells wonderful. Hey everybody, and welcome to Llew's Reviews, and in this episode I'll be taking a look at It Chapter 2. I was hoping that this could surpass its predecessor, which is always a hard task to pull, but Chapter 2 does just enough to pull its own punches and scares to stand on its own as a worthy follow-up and a conclusion. It has an ensemble cast of A-list characters like James McAvoy as Bill, Jessica Chastain as Beverly, Jay Ryan as Hot Ben. Man, did that guy grow up. James Ransone as Eddie, Andy Bean as Stanley, Mr. Old Spice himself as Mike, the only member of the Losers to stay in Derry after 27 years to keep an eye on things, which eventually leads to inviting everyone to a reunion. But I gotta say, the one who really stood out almost unexpectedly was Bill Hader as Richie. Beep beep. Aside from the funny one mostly, and it's double the trouble when he's paired with his buddy Eddie, especially when they get to bantering, he delivers an amazingly well-rounded performance that carries a lot of the movie's emotional weight, to add alongside the other great characters like Bill, Beverly, and Ben. There's a lot of B's in that love triangle. Essentially, the movie's plot is upon the return of the menacing, shape-shifting Pennywise the Dancing Clown, the now adult members of the Losers Club must come together to finish off what they started in ending It. Bill Skarsgård once again plays the role with dedicated malice, which succeeds for a second round, but sometimes going bigger and louder isn't always better. But they use him sparingly, which still works. The movie ups up the ante to sometimes the right ways and sometimes it's a bit of a miss, particularly in relying on just a little too much CGI at times. Kind of like how I felt with Godzilla King of the Monsters earlier this year. It wasn't exactly a better movie than the first one, it was definitely louder with some rushed pacing, but still there was plenty to enjoy. I thought that the director Andy Muschietti did a solid job in delivering the scares and concluding the story of a Stephen King classic. It might feel a little bloated because of the 3-hour runtime, but I was all for it. Considering the actual size of the book, they did a really good job of condensing a gazillion pages of stuff into about 4 hours if you combine the two movies. Again, not necessarily a better movie than its predecessor, but for me it definitely hit its mark in delivering a decent scary movie and a solid conclusion in an epic climax that I still need to wrap my head around, especially when they start talking about the deadlights. With that being said, I'm gonna give this a very solid 3.5 balloons out of 5. Well, there you have it guys. I hope you liked this review. Look down, like, and subscribe, and you'll be good to go. And I will see you next time. Bye.
Beep, beep, Louie.
No.
Yes.